What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and we're taking another look at the Quai network. I do want to point out this is a sponsored video from Quai, but everything I say here is true, and I think this is next level when it comes to crypto miners because everything they're doing seems to be working. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering what the heck are they doing? So that's actually something we're going to go through, exactly what's going on with the Quai network and their SOAP. How are they staying profitable? They're doing exactly what miners have always wanted, and it's pretty insane. So we're gonna take a look at some things right now. As you know, the SOAP is active and it's making mining profitable. They're allowing ASICs as well as GPUs on the network right now, and they're also going to be having another fork in the future for CPUs. They're going to have all hardware on Quai. Now, unlike most coins who undergo halving events and stuff, and then they have to lose security, people are no longer profitable, your yields and everything drop, Quai has actually done everything miners have always wanted, and it seems to be paying off. They 5x'd their actual emissions. They pull in value out of other coins, and it's doing nothing but causing the coin to surge. So step back, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get ready, because Quai is doing what miners wanted, and it is playing out to a T. All right, so there's two major things I want to run through in this video. One, we're going to run through SOAP and how it's actually working to bring value in. And we're also going to go through the Stratum X, which we can see right here. So Stratum X is almost like an F2 pool. Very interesting, adds massive decentralization to the network and allows you to solo mine as well as mine to a pool, PPS, through your own node. So it's pretty next level, just like Monero's F2 pool. So stay tuned for that. But let's start with SOAP and how this actually works. All right, so how SOAP works. So originally Quai was mined with GPUs on the ProgPow algorithm, power intensive, X amount of emissions, and so on. So what they did is kind of, Cubic was mining Monero to bring value into Cubic. They were supposedly mining the Monero there, selling it and buying Cubic and burning it and stuff, but somehow there's some weird stuff going on in the background that Cubic's price goes down instead of up. So here, essentially the same thing here, but we have a couple algorithms. So on GPU side, we have Kapow, and while you're mining Kapow, you're mining the Raven coin here. It's all being sold, but you are earning Quai. And in order to pay for all these networks, instead of having a halving event or anything, they actually took their normal emissions, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but they times it by 5. So now there's 5x more emissions, because in order to bring in miners for this type of stuff, you have to pay them. So it makes sense. So you're getting paid Quai only, but 5 times the emissions, and a split between the blockchains here. Now they're going to be adding in another one, so I don't know if they're going to be increasing the emissions some more or kind of pulling back from these. I imagine they would add in more emissions to make up for that, but again, I have no idea. But for the most part, that's what's going on here in a nutshell. So you have the GPU side with Ravencoin, and this is the amount of Ravencoin blocks they have found since this whole thing started. This is the amount of Litecoin blocks they have found, this is the amount of Dogecoin blocks they found, and the amount of Bitcoin Cash blocks they have found so far. So total Quai burned here, we can see 11.5 million Quai has been purchased and burned from extracting value from these other coins. That works out to be about $1.2 million in like 1 month or something. Let's just look at the price, because I know a lot of people think, oh, you increase the emissions, now it's causing inflation, the price is going to crash. But guess what? The price has been doing nothing except going up, because they're actually doing what they're saying. Here's 1 month ago. So it was about the 12th of December is when this whole thing did take place. If I come into here, we can see SOAP is live on Quai mainnet, actually December 17th. So I lied. It wasn't the 12th. It was the 17th. So if we look at the 17th there, that's when it went live. Here's the 17th right here. This is when Quai went live. And remember, you don't get paid for about 2 weeks. So that sucks. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, once you start getting paid in this Quai, the network is going to start, everyone's going to be dumping it, and the price is going to go down. But here's the kicker. Because they're pulling the value out of the other coins, it is offsetting that sell pressure, and it's continuing to grow the coin. So let's just take a look at that. 2 weeks later is around in this area right here, the 27th or 28th, in this. So we can see that first initial dip from when payouts started going out. But look what happened. Now all of a sudden, we're just seeing everything start to explode. Quai actually in 1 month from release here, we can see it was at 2 cents. Now it's at 10 cents. It has 5x'd in 1 month's time since this went live. That is pretty next level. It's totally showing here. Like, I'm pretty excited for this. It is definitely showing that what they're doing is working out, and it's showing that they're actually buying their coin with the other value. On top of that, there is so much volume going on. Look at the volume. MEXC here has 1.5 million in volume in 24 hours. We have 682 on Gate.io. And also Kraken is soon to be listed. I know one thing is my first video, I forgot to mention that actually Tangent Hardware Wallet does support Quai as well. So you also have hardware wallet support when it comes to mining this coin. So now let's just take a look. How large is the actual network of them to be hitting this amount of blocks? Are they just a small network or are they large? And I want to tell you right now, they're huge on everything except for script. If they got a little more script hash rate, I don't even know how. There's like no stopping this coin from going to the moon. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to invest in stuff. We're talking on pure mining standpoint. Some people might not like these type of morals and what they're doing, but as a crypto miner, they're doing everything that a miner has ever asked for. Increasing emissions, no halving events. You know, they're siphoning value from other coins to make that coin more valuable, and it's just causing the price to explode and profitability for mining it to pick up. Let's just take a look now. All right, guys, so let's just start off. We can see they're finding a huge amount of Raven coin blocks. We can see total revenue here that they've pulled out so far between these coins is 593,000. Revenue by chain, we can see Dogecoin is about $191,000. Litecoin's only 25,000. Bitcoin Cash is $235,000, and they pulled out about $140,000 from Raven coin. So we can see their largest contributor right now is obviously because of the price of the coin and all that stuff and hash rates that they have is Bitcoin Cash, followed by Dogecoin, Ravencoin, and Litecoin is actually the smallest here. So let's just start with Ravencoin and the size of their network hash rate. 2,525 gigahash. That is 2.5 petahash in this case. So we got 2.5 petahash, or I think that's terahash, actually, I lied. 2.5 terahash. So if we come in and look at Kapow, we can see, 2.52 terahash is what they have online here. Now look at the Ravencoin hash rate. 3.7, and here we can see the two miners is the largest Ravencoin pool at 1.76 terahash. Well, guess what? Quai Network is the largest miner of Ravencoin right now. They are the largest hash rate on there, so it makes sense why they're finding so many blocks. They're taking over the network for the most part is what they're doing here. So that's why they're finding so many Ravencoin blocks, is because they are the largest entity right now on Ravencoin. So they got a good amount of GPUs in there. So now let's take a look at SHA-256. Coming back into their SOAP dashboard, they are sitting at, remember, this is for Bitcoin Cash, they're at about 478 petahash, 478. If we come into here, we can see it's actually saying 542 petahash. I'm going to go with the SOAP dashboard, but obviously mining pool stats should be right as well at 542, but I'm still going to rock with 478. Keep in mind, it may be more. So let's just take a look at Bitcoin Cash here. We can see Trust Pool, the second place pool, is 455. So they're the second largest Bitcoin Cash pool or entity on here mining Bitcoin Cash. So it makes sense why that's why they're making so much money off Bitcoin Cash, as this is the number one money maker for them, is they are the second largest entity on Bitcoin Cash. So they're finding a lot of blocks, and that's insane. Now, here we are in script. This is their second place pool, where you can see Dogecoin is actually second place with 191,000, and they're not even that big. We can see 24.75 terahash here. Coming into Quai script, it is saying 25.8. So yeah, about where they are. So 25.75. We come into Litecoin, we can see they're only about 25.7. So they are in 11th place, 12th place. They're the 12th largest pool, so very small. But here they're competing with Mining Dutch, Ample, F2 Pool, via BTC, EMCD. Like all the large guys are obviously mining Litecoin and Dogecoin along. These guys also are big when it comes to Bitcoin and stuff. But we can see when it comes to here, they are small compared to the overall network hash rate. But this is still the second place thing. That's what I'm saying. If they could push the top 5 on the pool here, they would be bringing in so much more money by finding so many more blocks that the script side of Quai would bring in massive amounts. Like, just take a look here. We go into mining pool stats. We just sort everything by emissions. Dogecoin is obviously the second largest coin in emissions. So if they got in the top 5 instead of top 12 and they brought in, maybe 40% of this, that is a lot of money coming into Quai, and they would make this price probably double or triple in no time by doing that. So I'm not saying, convert over here, but, I think I want to move my script miners and stuff over. Yes, we're siphoning value out of these other coins, but as a miner, we want profitability. And when it comes to profitability, more script hash rate would make Quai really start exploding. It's already 5x in under a month. So this is all here. All the money they're pulling in out of these chains is offsetting all the sell pressure from the miners. And then it's being burnt on top of that we're continuing to see the price increase. So that's how the SOAP is working, and it looks 100% like SOAP is indeed working on the Quai network. So this is insane. This coming into quick profitability here. Look at ASIC profitability right now. We can see Quai is across the board when it comes to any Bitcoin miner or SHA-256 because it's Bitcoin Cash, not Bitcoin, or Script here. It's the top coin when it comes to any of these L11s and, L9s and whatever else here. Let's just look. Where's an L9 coming? L9, Quai. And it's more than mining just Litecoin or Doge directly. So all the profit is there. Let's even bring into the GPU side of things here. We can see Quai. Majority of these coins is all Quai also, because all of this is coming in and it's making Quai profitable on pretty much all your hardware, which is crazy. And again, pretty soon CPUs are going to be in on this as well, meaning you can point all the hardware you have at Quai and just start stacking it and it's profitable. Alrighty, so hopefully that kind of made you guys understand how the whole SOAP thing is actually working by bringing in all that extra value. Now, the only downside I have with Quai is waiting that 2 weeks. I know it sucks and a lot can happen 2 weeks later from the time you're mining things in terms of the market. But so far, it looks like everything has been going nowhere except up when it comes to the Quai network. So the second thing I want to take a look at here is Stratum X. And this is unlike, you're not paying for pool fees or anything. Let's just jump into like the Ravencoin ones, for example. We can see we have 1% here, there's some 0% here, 1%, 0.2. Like, we got some pretty decent low pool fees here, but guess what? You can pool mine all by yourself on your home node for 0% fees. On top of that, as everyone starts running nodes, that adds more decentralization to the network. So that's what we're going to talk about here. And just think of, if you're familiar with Monero and P2 Pool, in my mind, it's pretty much working exactly the same. So let's take a look at this. So mining is always faced a trade-off. Either join a pool, pay fees, and give up anonymity, or mine solo and accept long odds with inconsistent rewards. Stratum X fixes that. So Stratum X is Quai Network's new distributed Stratum infrastructure, enabling SHA-256, Script, and Compound miners to mine Quai directly without fees or KYC. It's self-custodial by design, compatible with standard Stratum mining software, and optimized to achieve maximum output for every algorithm, turning solo mining into consistent professional-grade experience. Stratum X is now live. You can view it here at stratumx.org here. So what is Stratum X? And this pretty much shows it in a nutshell. Stratum X combines the Stratum protocol directly into the Go Quai node. So it's built into the node. You can turn it off and on when you run your own node. So instead of running separate pool software or connecting to a centralized service, miners can either enable Stratum X on their own node with new flags or freely connect to an existing Stratum X endpoint. So StratumX nodes from a decentralized mesh of high-performance Stratum servers operated by independent node runners around the world, which is, you guys, me, myself. If you'd like to run a StratumX enabled node and join the network, reach out to the team in the Quai Discord for onboarding and configuration help. So they'll help you get that all set up and stuff. Miners connect using standard Stratum compatible software and receive jobs derived from pending Quai headers. All valid work is credited on chain, and 100% of the rewards are paid directly to the miner's configured address with no pool fees and no third-party custody. It is available as solo mining or PPS payouts. There you go. Mining to your own node. You can choose whether you want to solo mine or mine PPS. And if you go with PPS payouts, it's just like you were pool mining. Everybody running the StratumX endpoint on their own nodes, or even some of the mining pools out there with their nodes, if they're all running this, you guys are all linked together. But you are paying no pool fees because it's coming directly from your node. So that is game changing when it comes to decentralization and encouraging more people to run their own nodes, which helps spread the decentralization across the world. So this is awesome. This is why it sounds exactly like P2 pool here. So in the next stage, StratumX is designed to become fully permissionless as the network grows, with tooling to help node runners configure sustainable earning streams for their infrastructure. So that's pretty insane. It's all that in a nutshell. You can go through all this if you want, but I just wanted to bring that to light. That is how this works. Running your own node, mining to your own node, and getting paid as if you're mining to a pool based on everyone else that is, using this. Same thing in Monero, guys. It's encouraged for you guys to all run your own node. So the more people that start running their own nodes, enable the StratumX, do some PPS payouts, everyone is linked together, and there's 0% pool fee. So that means don't mine to any of the pools that are out there. Mine to your own nodes, guys. Add that decentralization and get paid with 0% pool fees. It's pretty next level and pretty awesome. All right, guys, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it brought to light and helped you guys understand exactly how SOAP is working and bringing in all that extra value. And on top of the StratumX, kind of explain to you how that is working. Now, if you guys want help in order to set up a node, just let me know down in the comment section. Do you plan on setting up a node? Do you plan on bringing over some script miners? Because, guys, I really feel if they got a lot more hash rate on the script algorithm, Quai would just continue to keep on pumping, bringing in the second largest cryptocurrencies in revenue onto there, and it's just going to be insane. And what happens there, and I know morals are going to stand out, and people are like, oh, they shouldn't be siphoning the value out of this, but the same thing. People mine a coin, sell it for Bitcoin. Mara drained the crap out of Kaspa, all the value out of that, and put it to Bitcoin. So what's the difference here where they're pulling stuff out of Dogecoin and Ravencoin and other things and put it in the Quai? It's the same thing. And the more people that are actually mining it, especially if you're doing it to your own node decentralized way, that's just making the coin price go up. And, also on top of difficulties increasing, I forgot to mention earlier, is that the rewards also start to increase a little bit more as the network difficulty increases, adding on even more yields, which is pretty crazy. All the way around, they've been listening to miners. Miners wanted this, and no one said it would ever work. It just doesn't make sense for crypto. But guess what? It is 100% so far working. And as the price goes up from siphoning the value, mining profits continues to keep going up as well. So the more miners, the better, and the more miners are welcome. Thank you for checking us out. Any questions you may have, let me know down in the comments section. I will see you on the next one, guys. Rabid out.